All right, welcome again. Another episode of Ty's Take. Dave here. And of course, the star of the show, Tyra Day, Space Marine turned space advocate, and working very closely here with 40 Sons. We've been bringing her up to speed, is what we've been doing for the last, many episodes. I think we're on episode 14 now. So it's great. Hopefully, we've held the attention of at least a few of you through all of this and passed on some good information and inspired. So we'll continue with some of your questions, Ty.
Yeah, so, okay, let's talk about something a little more down to earth.
Okay.
Space vacations.
Space vacations.
Space vacations. People like vacations.
They do.
Not so much work all the time. Do you think space vacations would be a good way and an interesting way to get people more interested in going to space?
Actually, I do. I do think that. That's a brilliant idea. And I absolutely believe that sort of thing and the availability of vacations is space vacations. The novelty of that is really something that will draw attention, not only to the people that go, which of course initially it's going to be a small minority. They'll be very expensive out of the gate, but the rich people will go and they will do them, and the prices will come down and more people will be able to go. But the more important thing is they'll make headlines. As soon as people are doing it, they'll make headlines.
Yeah.
There's actually one of the first steps towards that is coming available next year. It's not a rocket. It's actually a big balloon. I'm forgetting the name of the capsule, but basically it's like a really, really swanky capsule that, like, I think up to 6 people, plus you have attendants and so forth that are in there. And it takes you all the way up to the edge of the atmosphere, basically space, to where you can see everything that you can from an orbital position, lower, of course, but it's like you're above the atmosphere. It takes like 6 hours because it's a very, very slow ascent and it's a very, very slow descent. That sort of thing will become more and more available. More people will be able to do that. And then, of course, rockets and, there'll eventually be space hotels and all that. So, yes, absolutely. Space is when the common man. That's coming up in about a year. Yeah, it's being developed right now. It's not available. Yes, the balloon is coming up in about a year. Yep. You can't do it just yet, but in about a year, you'll be able to. Yeah, that'll be one of the first things that just about the average person. Now, it's still expensive, but the average person can go do that without any special training, without anything like that. So.
Okay.
Space vacation.
What would you say is the path to make that? What would you say is the path to make that more, like, accessible for the normal person?
Well, I think it does come down affordability. I think it does come down to the moolah, to the money. And the way that happens is, again, not to sound cynical or, whatever, rich people. The rich people have to go first. They've got to be willing, they've got to be willing to spend, risk funds, possibly even risk life. Some of these things haven't been tested yet or haven't been tested much. So there's always a danger. There's an inherent danger with anything like that until you start doing it enough that it becomes, you iron out all the safety issues and so forth. I'm not saying they're going to fall out of the sky in a balloon, but rockets are dangerous. It's like it takes a little bit of a willingness to risk life and limb and risk your checkbook, a lot of money. So that's what it comes down to. I think that's the path, is the rich people go, and they are going, and they are doing it. More of them do it. More opportunities for them to do it occur. More of them do it. More of them talk about it. The ability to do it becomes less and less expensive. You have to be less and less rich to go do it, just like anything. And eventually we'll do it. Anything that's new and fancy needed what we call early adopters, people that were willing to go out there and kind of take a chance on it when it wasn't yet totally proven, make it happen, and then it becomes more and more accessible to everyone. So I think really that's the path. And I do love the idea of vacations being kind of a gateway for people to get into space. I think that's really where it'll happen. You know, the first like space hotel up there that has, you know, that's rotating, either you know, a rotating wheel, or you know, something like that. That's going to be when people, when space becomes real for everybody. You know, when they can do that.
Yeah. Do you think that would be like the next space age, having all that as
Yeah,
reality?
I know. I think so. I think so. We've been calling this the new space age. We've been calling this space age 2.0, and it definitely is. But I believe the real mile marker is going to be when you and me and the average person can just go to space and take that space vacation. So I do believe that's like when
Space age 3.0.
yeah, that's when we really are in the new space age.
Mhm.
I believe that'll be the biggest mile
Yeah.
marker of it. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, we'll end it off there. Keep this one nice and tight. Finally, I've been trying to do that for like 14 episodes. So, yay, I got one. Well, let me go before I start talking again. And we'll go on to the next episode after this. All right. Bye, everybody.
Buzzer.
Bye. Buzzer time. That's right.